Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Barry, that Goat Metal Show with the weekly recap. Hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody's having a fucking week where it's just been crazy up here in New York with fucking snow and snow removal and parking and nastiness, man. It's fucking nasty up here. But you know, that is just a fucking little niche compared to some of the other states that go through more shit than us. But of course, you know, we're New Yorkers. We just get to bitch about it, and that's just the way it is. All right. So, yeah, let me just get into some of the news. Okay. First off, we're going to start off with the world of Slaughter to Prevail. Stockholm politicians have raised concerns over an upcoming concert by the hard rock band Slaughter to Prevail following accusations that the group has spread Russian propaganda. Okay. According to the Nordic Ukraine Forum, the band has engaged in messaging aligned with Russian propaganda narratives. In response, representatives from both the Moderate Party and the Social Democrats have reacted ahead in the band's scheduled performance in Stockholm on Friday. Opposition City Councilor Christopher, whatever the hell his name is, said he believes it would be inappropriate for the band to perform under the circumstances. I think it's quite inappropriate. I don't think a band that lends itself to Russian propaganda should be playing in Stockholm right now. All right, so Slaughter to Prevail previously performed in Gothenburg on Tuesday. Concert promoter Live Nation, which is organizing the Stockholm show, has declined to comment inquiries regarding the allegations at the time of publication. So basically, I mean, look, Slaughter to Prevail, I mean, you know, they're from Russia. I mean, as far as I know, I don't think any of their stuff is basically, I mean, they might be proud Russians. They want to say they're proud Russians. I mean, from my understanding, there's been interviews with Alex Terrible about the war in the Ukraine with them and how he feels about it. And from my understanding, I think he was against the war. So I'm trying to like figure out where the whole Russian propaganda thing is coming from. I mean, I don't know if they got a new song that they're just saying Russia's great, the war is hell, whatever the fuck. But they won't be playing Stockholm, I guess. I don't know. I guess we'll get some more shit about this later on. We'll see. More bochinche, I guess. All right, now we dive into the world of Ozfest. Sharon Osbourne teases possible return of Ozfest. Says it could return as soon as 2027. All right. In an interview with Billboard, she confirmed that she has been in early discussions with Live Nation about reviving the legendary touring festival potentially as soon as 2027. Sharon said it was something Ozzy was very passionate about, giving young talent the stage in front of a lot of people. We really started metal festivals in this country. It was replicated but never done with the spirit what was ours. Because of our place in the new talent, it was like a summer camp for kids. It was first launched in '96. Ozfest became the blueprint for modern heavy metal music, touring across the U.S., Europe, and Japan nearly every year until 2018. From alternative metal, thrash, industrial to metalcore, death metal, and black metal, the festival served as a proving ground for underground acts, legends alike, with Ozzy and often Black Sabbath at its core. Hey, you know what? Look, I think that's not a bad thing. You know, I mean, especially if you want to get some of these more lower bands to, you know, be in an open space. But, you know, with dealing with Live Nation and all this other bullshit, you know, it's just going to be a big-ass money grab, and it's going to be super expensive. And, you know, if you're trying to get, like, underground bands or bands who are just getting their foot in the door, I don't understand why, you know, you would charge massive amount of money for these fucking things. But, hey, it's always going to be a money grab, and people will pay. People will pay. But let's see what happens. It's you know, positive and negative, I guess, you know, for some of that. But to each his own. Hopefully they'll have something cool. We'll see how it goes. All right. In the world of Motley Crue, all right, the members of Motley Crue are feeling all right after coming out victorious against former guitarist Mick Mars. Vince Neil, Nikki Sixx, and Tommy Lee did nothing wrong when they removed Mars, 74, as an officer and director in their business affairs. Retired federal judge Patrick Walsh ruled in the final arbitration on Thursday. Walsh's ruling came nearly 3 years after Mars filed a lawsuit against his former bandmates in April 2023. He alleged that Vince Neil, Nikki Sixx, and Tommy Lee tried to remove him as a shareholder after he stepped away from the Dr. Feelgood group due to his battle with ankylosing I'm sorry, I'm not disrespecting. I know he's got something that's going on. I'm not trying to disrespect the way his diagnosis is, so forgive me. during a 2022 stadium tour. Mars argues that it's immoral for him to be cast aside after forming the backbone of this group for more than 4 decades, merely because of his age and symptoms precluded him from performing. Well said. The alien guitarist was ordered to pay his former bandmate $750,000 in advance money for missing 69 live shows, per the final arbitration documents. Damn, man, that's some shit. So, it's kind of funny because I actually thought Mars was going to get up ahead on this, but yeah, man, leave it to the legal system to that's just some shit. But again, I go with when I talk about this stuff here, when it comes to doing a band for the love of it, doing a band for the business part of it, and then making it pretty much your job. Things happen like this, man. The whole family aspect gets thrown out the window when it comes to money and time and all this other stuff. It's sad to see. It really is. It really is sad to see, man. But it is the way of the world now when it comes to this. So if you guys are doing your bands, look at things like this. Motley Crue, Hatebreed, all these other bands that are going through their little stuff with former members who were there for years, who started these bands. Fucking Dave Lombardo from Slayer is another one. Everything becomes a business. And sometimes, you better start getting your stuff together the right way if you blow up or not. I think that will clear everything up, so it won't be such a shit show. That's just my advice. Take it as you will. Now, I saw this and I said to myself, why it had to be this band? It said, Ghosts used their satanic powers to make the Orlando Magic lose a game. A Kia Center employee has blamed Ghost's super satanic vibes for the Orlando Magic's recent home loss, and the internet is loving it. In a moment that feels ripped straight from the 80s era satanic panic, a now deleted Reddit post has gone viral after proposing that the Orlando Magic's recent struggles could be traced back to a concert by Taurus Forge-led theatrical metal giants Ghosts, who played the arena earlier that week. The post surfaced shortly after the Magic suffered a home loss to the Charlotte Hornets on January 22nd, and while it didn't last long on Reddit, it quickly preserved and shared by noise and social media. It's Orlando. Why couldn't they blame Deicide or somebody else? They had to blame Ghosts. Satanic shit. I guess, look, you're still going to have those people there who are just going to think the worst on things, and, pick a better band than that, man. And fucking Ghosts? Shit. Oh man, whatever's happening, man. Look, whatever's happening. Look, if Ghost is over there fucking up with Orlando, as long as my Knicks keep doing good up here in New York, I'm okay with it. All right, guys. Nobody is blind or deaf to what's been going on around the country, especially with all the stuff with, the ICE protests and fucking Democrats and Republicans going at it with each other, people losing their lives, and look. Everything to me, like I said, I always hold the common sense high ground when it comes to these things, and I look down on everybody with this bullshit. But now that it gets to certain metal music too and bands, look, I get it. A lot of times, the heavy music is a platform to express your hatred and your vocabulary and spread whatever you feel about certain things, especially with the government. But things are just getting a little bit weird. But here we go. We got some news to talk about. One of them is Reflections loses 2 members because their vocalist is a bootlicking ICE apologist. The extremely forced situation here in the States involving immigration enforcement forces and disappearing or sometimes straight up murder of citizens and non-citizens enough seems like it's almost a fever pitch. Like the whole country's powder keg ready to go up with the smallest spark. In fact, the situation is so volatile, it caused a progressive metal outfit Reflections bassist Francis Zina and guitarist Patrick Patty to quit the band. According to the comments made on their respective Instagram for the problem seemed to be vocalist Jake Wolf, who apparently approves of the class-sponsored terrorism in the immigration and custom enforcement. Officers are conducting in places like Minneapolis. Basically, when it comes to reading some of the stuff off some of these articles, you can see everything seems to be one-sided, and I don't follow none of that political bullshit. But it just seems that way. I guess they went and these 2 people quit the band because I guess the singer is okay with what ICE is doing, so they quit and pretty much separated the band. I guess that's got to be a big thing when it comes to political aspects and what you feel about what's going on. It's always going to draw a division. It shouldn't, to be aspect. I'll go back to Deicide, with Glenn Benton, didn't have an issue with Christians playing in his band as long as they were fucking playing the music. It didn't matter to him. He didn't give a shit about their belief. If the music is number one, it should be the music and everything else out the window, man. But if that's how you feel, so be it. And then continuing with that, we got Randy Blythe from That Lamb of God. Is big now that he's been making a big thing about the whole thing with ICE and Trump and all the other stuff. He basically went and he's talking about it at his shows. He's putting out a whole rallying cry about it, and he's putting out the message. But some people are going to be taking it this way, some people are going to be taking it that way. My question to Randy is, if somebody doesn't agree with you, would you tell them not to buy your music, even though they love your band? I mean, it goes hand in hand. I mean, would you be a hypocrite about it? That's the thing when it comes to being vocal about these things, because at the end of the day, you're still a musician, you're still a performer, you're performing, and what is it going to come to now? Are you going to go and just segregate your fan base? It goes hand in hand, man. That's why sometimes when it comes to this stuff with politics and this nonsense, we just gotta keep it there. Look, stick to being a performer. All right, that's it, and that's it, because it's like Michael Jordan, I think, said something famously. They were asking him something about the effect of to Democrats and Republicans or whatever, and how do you feel about Republicans, this and that, and his answer was, they buy my shoes too. So it's like he might have a political stance on certain things, but when it comes to being a performer or making a product or whatever, at the end of the day, man, you got to think about your bottom line, and that's what it's going to come down to at the end. So look, it's great that you're enthusiastic about something and you feel a certain kind of way, but I think when it comes to performing and being in a band, sometimes, hey, you could go and shout it out, write songs about it. Or you want to write songs about it, be entertaining. People will figure things out if that's what you want to do. But just continuously blurting it out, and then you're going to rub other fans the wrong way, and they might not buy your music. And that's where everything starts to become a big divide. And look, man, no matter how we feel and go to Memphis, we don't give two shits about that. We keep that shit to ourselves. That's one of our things. We got together. We might joke about it here and there, but that's as far as it goes. Personal feelings with that, we keep that shit out of the studio, and we just write. And that's it. We play music. That's what it should be about. But all right, and before I go, I want to give a big shout out to Jimmy. All right, from Jimmy from the Block, for having me on for that Go to Memphis interview. I want to thank you for that. That shit was it was fun. It was fun. Had a good time. I want to thank him because we started getting some new fans in there, man, and they're picking up some Go to Memphis stuff. Truly appreciate it, Jimmy. Thank you so much. But I want to go off on some metal bochinche with something that he did recently. He did a video, and I'm just gonna talk about it real quick about the ex-Devourment vocalist Mike Majeski. He was arrested following a wrong way crash involving death, where he is basically it's been just him being a drunken driver, right? Manslaughter, assault, all that stuff, and I got no sympathy for you, brother. I'm sorry. You took life. You decided to get behind the wheel intoxicated, and you fuck things up, man. It's just a shame. It really is a shame. I mean, if anything, this is the thing about a person who gets crazy with the alcohol. You gotta fucking try to trim that shit down, bro. Try to trim that shit down. But that's it. That's all I got right now. I'm gonna send it over to Rich, the silent producer. See what he got. Take it over, Rich.
The Uptown Rumble's heavy music in the Bronx panel discussion has been moved now to Sunday, February the 8th at 1 p.m. This event will take place at the Museum of Bronx History. March the 7th at TBI, The Final Eradication of New York City, featuring Bastard Noise Live. Just announced May 1st, Brooklyn, New York, the Decibel Tour with Cryptopsy celebrating None So Vile, 30th anniversary, Necrot, Fulci, and others live. Pitfest 2026 in the Netherlands, June 4th through the 6th, featuring Autopsy, The Cro-Mags, Dark Funeral, Gorilla Biscuits, Gudalax, Jungle Rot, Judge, Marauder, Midnight, Matradot, Propane, Venom, Voivod, and many others. Ablated Records presents Ohio Death Fest 2026 on Friday, July the 31st at the Mercury Lounge in Ohio, featuring Brodequin, Morpheus Descends, Atravor, Malignancy, Scattered Remnants, Internal Suffering, Violently Vomit, Regurgitation, and many others to be announced. Dark Throne has announced that their new 40th anniversary box set will be released on March the 6th, 2026. The Fist in the Face of God on Peaceville Records with 10 discs. Tone Joker's Pick of the Week EP is Final Dose, Endless Woe, 5 tracks coming in 15 minutes. Black metal punk coming from London, UK.